Good morning. Good morning, guys. It's time for a kitty check. I'm checking in because I know hundreds of you signed up for the Membrin supplement. We started this 2 months ago, and so I've been receiving a lot of DMs from you telling me how you're doing on this amazing supplement. If you are not aware of Membrin because it helps with your membranes. It helps to replenish and restore the mucosal lining in your membranes. And if you don't know, maybe you haven't experienced this, but as we reach perimenopause or menopause, those mucosal membranes can start drying up due to a lack of estrogen. It can happen in your eyes. You might notice that you're tearing more. It can happen in your nasal cavity. You might be getting runny, drippy nose that might feel like allergies. It can happen with your vaginal tissue. You might have irritation or painful intimacy. In the delicate bladder tissue, it can also be an issue. It might make you feel like all of a sudden you have this frequency to go that you've never had before. Increase of UTIs, which can be super dangerous for infection and sepsis. These are the things that happen when your mucosal linings dry up from lack of estrogen. So highly recommend you look into replacing estrogen during perimenopause or menopause. Speak to your doctor. There are so many safe and effective ways to replace that lost estrogen that can really help with so many symptoms. Not everyone can take hormone replacement. And in addition, you also might benefit from this supplement. Again, this is called Membrin. It is such an easy solution to a problem I didn't even know I had. I didn't know it was an issue until I started taking this and realized how much better I could feel. You just take 2 of these Vitality Pearls every day. And this has a patented ingredient in it. It's called SBA24. It is extracted from the remarkable sea buckthorn plant, the berries and the seeds. And what it does is it helps to restore the mucosal lining in your body. And it has been an unbelievable discovery. So I was so excited about it that I partnered with Membrin to bring this product to you guys. If you go to my website at carolinesummers.com, they set up a special deal just for my customers, and you can get a 3-month subscription to this. The first month you will get for free. So when you get on subscription, that's how you get the lowest monthly price, but they're also giving you the first month for free. They're also giving you a free moisture cream, which you can use topically, which is also a great help for people who are having intimacy, dryness issues and things. So go to my site, try this. Guess what? You have 90 days to try it risk-free. If you don't feel like you have had an improvement after 90 days, they will completely refund your money. Do you know why they do that? Like, why would you do that? You don't have to give a 90-day because they're very confident that it's going to work from you. And if you talk to any of my ladies here, you guys might not want to write your comments now about how much better you feel, but I'm getting all the comments and you guys feel better. So they've done clinical studies on this supplement. Most supplements, people will say, you don't know with supplements because they haven't done clinicals. They have done clinicals on this. And the clinical studies showed, let me get the exact numbers for you. They tested, over 1 million women have benefited from this PS. So over 1 million women across the world. 92% of people on a 3-month clinical study, 92% of women reported increased vaginal moisture. Amazing. 79% saw improved comfort during intimacy. 86% of women experienced reduced irritation and itching. And this was 160 postmenopausal women who were in this clinical study. And again, SBA24 is the featured ingredient here. Don't be fooled by copycat products that use sea buckthorn oil. If it's not the SBA 24, you have to make sure that it's extracted in a way that you get all the amazing nutrients out of this wonderful ingredient. So it's been 2 months for a lot of you. This is your kitty check. If there's anything going on with your kitty, you got to take care of your kitty. If she's dry or irritated or itchy or screams when she's having intercourse, this is something to take care of. So, and okay, great. We've got one woman here said, I'm in the middle of my 2nd month. Things are improving. We love to hear it. They also at the Membrin website, they have health experts that will get on the phone and discuss things with you, because a lot of you will send me questions and say, if I'm taking this, can I take that? Or if I'm already on estrogen, can I also use this? Or I can't use estrogen. I will tell you, Georgine said, I'm using the cream, can tell a difference already. Also on estradiol cream for years, but I felt like I needed more to, exactly. A lot of people need both. I needed both. I had a hysterectomy, and I thought I was doing pretty well. Actually, I thought I was doing pretty well. And this company reached out to me and said, just try this. I didn't know how much better I could feel. So I'm super happy about it. I get quite irritated when I see anything that is directed toward menopausal or even perimenopausal women. You guys know, like every time you see a commercial, they always have gray hair, full gray hair. No one dyes their hair when they're menopausal. Or else they have like that one gray stripe, because, these companies think that we don't know what a menopausal or a perimenopausal woman looks like. They're all colors, and they have all different hair colors, and a lot of us color our hair. So menopausal symptoms are not a punchline, and you deserve better treatment for your health. It is not just about taking away your symptoms. It is really about restoring your health. And listen, my eyes aren't as drippy, my nasal cavity my skin is more hydrated. These are the things that estrogen does to the body. So I am on estrogen replacement. Not everyone can take it. Some people who have certain medical conditions can't take it. I take it, and I still needed this. Who knew? And there are incredible studies recently out on UTIs and how vaginal estrogen is unbelievably important for preventing UTIs, sepsis, hospitalization, and even death. So I highly recommend you talk to your healthcare provider about hormones if you haven't, bioidentical, and check out Membrin at CarolineSummers.com. Use promo code Caroline, and you are going to get your first month for free. So you sign up for 3 months. This one comes to you free. These you get at the lowest price they offer. And this is just a great way to keep yourself feeling the way we used to feel before our hormones started declining. For me, it was my late 30s. That's when I went into perimenopause. Perimenopause is 13 years before menopause. So let's say menopause averages at 50. By 37, you might be feeling that roller coaster of symptoms. Brain's not quite working right, can't keep your thoughts in your head. You're maybe a little irritable, a little angry. Maybe your libido is down. You could be putting on a little weight, not sleeping as well. All of these things, a little itchy. So this is where we can really help in a non-hormone solution. This is a non-hormone solution. And I love having this as an option for women who can't take hormones. And obviously, I'm a huge proponent of hormones. Giselle said, I'm on it, thanks to you. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So listen, send me your results. The people want to know. If you don't want to do it publicly, it's okay. If I ever get a testimonial from you, I won't read your name. Although there's nothing, I mean, this is a health issue. There's nothing weird about it. My beautiful mother-in-law was one of the first celebrities to destigmatize just the word menopause, let alone what we go through as women. So, so thank you. I just wanted to start the show talking a bit about Membrin. Now on to the other banner you're going to see at carolinesummers.com. And that is going to be my Tuscany retreat. I know so many of you have been sending me emails and asking questions about the retreat and how we're doing the selection process. So listen, this is what's happening. We have 22 spots available for the 2 weeks, 11 each week. So it's, I think 6 rooms. Six rooms for each week of the retreat. And we have had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who have expressed interest. So when I say it's oversold, it's definitely oversold. And we've had to figure out how, number one, we're going to look for more villas so that we can host more retreats, because how fun that you guys want to do this. And we would have to run about a retreat every week this year to accommodate all the people who expressed interest. So that's so great that you guys would like to go to Italy with us. And we would like to obviously bring as many of you as we can. For this first trip, I only have 22 spots. So here's what we're doing. There's an email going out today to everyone who requested information and filled out that form. Everyone is getting the email today, and you are going to fill out one more questionnaire so we know how many people are in your party, which week you prefer, food allergies or sensitivities, so we know how to accommodate the food for you, which we can. You guys know I do that for my family. And then what we're going to do is, out of those hundreds of people, we're going to pick 50 people who are going to go into group 1. Everyone else is going to be in group 2. Those 50 people in group 1 are going to have an information session on Zoom, and you can only have 50 people. That's why we made it 50. And you'll have a chance to answer any of your questions. We'll show you what the room layouts look like and just explain a little bit more about how the trip will work. And from those 50, we will then, how are we selecting? There's no way to do this. It's like, it'll be like that. Okay, these ones and this one, and well, these two could go here and this one could go here. Well, these would put to, it's a puzzle that we're putting together, and that is the best I can tell you. We have to just pick. So 50 people are going to be in group 1, and after the information session, we will let the first 22 people know. And if they want to book, they can book. If they want to decline, they can decline. And if we don't get all 22, we'll go to the next alternates on the list. So there's no easy way to do this. I mean, I was looking at the numbers. I was like, you have a better chance of getting into Harvard. It's going to be like 1% of the people who expressed interest. Yes, husbands can come. Husbands or sidekicks or a single person, whatever you want. We have taken over the whole farmhouse, but we are not filling it to capacity because we don't want to travel with more than 14 people. There are a couple reasons why. We have an indoor area in case we have cold weather, which in April it does get chilly, especially at night. And we have an indoor dining table that seats 14 of us. And also, when you're going through towns and you're going through, touring little areas, 14 it's still a decent sized group, but when it starts getting bigger than that, it just gets a little harder to maneuver. So it's great that it's small. It's great that, we're your guides and with you the whole time, but it's not great that I can't take more of you. So I appreciate you all understanding that this first one is going to be a little tight. Most people will be disappointed if you were wanting to come, but we're gonna, I mean, hell, I'm like, Bruce, let's go to Italy and let's move there. And then we can do like retreats for 3 weeks, and then we'll take 1 week off and then do 3 more. If you guys come, we could do it. We could do it, right? So we are headed over to Italy next month, and we are going to be looking for more farmhouses and more villas and more areas that we can do this. So I appreciate you guys being understanding. There's no way to decide who is going. It's going to be some of this and some of that, and this is the first I've heard of it. Ursula, go to my website. So go to carolinesummers.com, and when you go to the website, there's a 20-page deck that explains what the trip is like. Make sure if you're on your phone, it's really hard to see on a telephone. It's much easier to see on a computer. And you can click through the deck and the information is in there. And then today we are sending out an email, and the email will ask you a little more information, and then we'll narrow it down and we'll narrow it down. But I don't want to get anyone's, I don't want to get anyone's hopes up too high, because it is it's just a small group for this first time. But I'm honored that you guys want to go do this together. So we're going to make it happen. Bruce is starting a company, and my nephew's getting insurance for us. And he's like, I got to go set up, specific bank accounts for this, so that when it's time to get the deposits, there's all that like back end stuff to do. So that's why it takes a while to get this done. He does all that part. You know what I do? I pick the restaurants, I pick the menu, I talk to the chef at the farmhouse and say, well, can we do truffle night on this night? And he's like, we're kind of between, we haven't yet hit black truffle season, but it's not, but there is like one type of white truffle that you can get in the spring. It's not like the one in the fall, but you'll find it around Tuscany. So I'm looking at like what night we're going to eat the risotto, and when we're going to make ravioli together, and which little town we're going into, and make sure we stop at the pottery place in case people want to order pot. That's what I'm doing. Bruce, he is a mensch. Bruce is the one who is there. He's the one that is there, making sure all the structure is there to support the business. So that's what's happening. But don't give up yet. We're just sending out the list today, and you should be. Bruce is down there right now figuring out how I send this email. It's like, I don't know, it's like 700 or 800 people who responded. That's just the forms. That means that they have someone they want to go with. And we have 22 spots. Yes, Christine, I would love to do retreats in September. We like to travel in the shoulder months. So we like April, May, a little June. We like September, October. It is, unless you're in a coastal town, those summer months are quite oppressive. And oh my goodness, have they been oppressive this summer for our friends in Italy and France. It's just been unbelievably warm. Ursula wants to eat and prepare artichokes. This retreat that we're doing, this first one, I'm not going to be doing a lot of the cooking because there's a wonderful chef at the farmhouse. It's an organic garden that they have. He cooks from the garden. Every vendor where he gets the meat or the cheese it's all so local, so amazing. So I kind of work with the chef there because we're out all day, so we are out all day sightseeing. We have long, beautiful lunches, and then we come home and we have spritz o'clock, and we have our spritz of the day at sunset, and then we roll into a very, very cozy family style dinner. When it gets cold, we move inside, and we light a fire. Every apartment has a fireplace and a kitchen, and it just makes for really nice. There will be 2 rooms per apartment, and this is how we have set it up, and it will be Bruce and myself and Violet, and then each week another 11 of you will come on the trip. So you can be a single, you can come with 2, you can bring a friend, a sister, child, over 18 child. And how's the email going? Oh, he's still working on it. He gave me a so that's what's happening. Super exciting. Hi Diane, how are you? Good to see you. Mango wants a TV show. That'd be fun. But there are so many TV shows of people who go to Italy and do this. I was talking to a dear friend of mine, Jeff Collins, who is a reality show producer. He did the series Dance Moms and all the spin-offs that you may know. And he's done a lot of reality shows. And he said, he's like, just every famous person wants to do a show in Italy. He said that this has been pitched over and over and over and over again. So, there are many of them out there. You guys are my show. I have my Instagram people and my Facebook people, and this is what we do. But the idea of we get a place, if we could get a farmhouse or some place where we could be there, in the off season too, and just cooking and enjoying, I think that would be quite lovely. I have my daughter Camellia here and my daughter Bunny here. So that is the only thing that keeps me feeling quite tethered, and those are big reasons. But if I get a compound, I would love for her to come with me. So we'll see. I will tell you one thing. When you untether yourself from anything that is holding you back, and you truly start focusing and manifesting on what you would like your life to look like, as corny as that sounds, and as much as that's like, oh yeah, you think it and you put it on a vision board and you say it. I know it sounds corny, but every morning you wake up and you ask God and the universe and your guides and your angels, and you ask them, please, this is what I say every morning. I give them permission to interfere on my behalf for my well-being. God and my guides and my angels, I give you permission to assist in helping me to create the life that I want, the love that I want, the peace that I want in my life. I give you permission to intervene on my behalf. And you know what? I untethered myself from some things that were so familiar and wonderful for me, but they were keeping me from also being able to do this. So 6 months later, I am here to tell you we're gonna make our dreams come true. So if your dream is to take a trip to Italy, we're gonna try and make that happen. So decide today. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure out how to set aside the money, set aside the time, make that dream come true. Vivian, I swear, feeling discouraged is very normal. It is very easy. Life is hard and the obstacles are hard, and it is hard to keep your head up when things are looking down. But pull your head up and use your faith, use your imagination of what your life could be like, and ask your guides to remove negative thoughts from your head. And Shell Bell said, I'm definitely going to try for the next round, Caroline. My son's getting married and we're super busy all the way through next year. Okay, so we'll get your retreat in the following year, and congrats on your son getting married. Weddings, wow. That is stressful. And Vivian, I'm saying a little extra prayer on your behalf as well. Keep your head up. Trudy's daughter is getting married. So how are you guys doing with the wedding stuff? It's a little drama, huh? You get a lot of drama planning the weddings. Here's what I hear. And I remember from when we were getting married, I I remember when we were getting married, in our generation, when you're the one getting married, it's like, well, it's our wedding. So you hear a lot of that. Well, it's our wedding, and we should have the people that we want to be there. And if we don't even know these people, and, well, we should be able to do it. And then when you become the adult and you're paying for the wedding, then you start going, well, I'm paying for this wedding. And what do you mean we can't have, these are our dearest friends, and we want to have our friend. They've known you since you were born, and I don't care if you, it's both, right? So I think the best weddings, a lot of you are chiming in, difficult but grateful, I get it. So Donna, you've done it 3 times. How's that going? How are you guys managing that? Because I think you do have to, of course the bride wants to know and feel connected to the people that are at their wedding. I get that. And if you're the parent, I think it is important to let your kids know, this is really important to us. And this one is going to be a relationship wrecker if I don't include this. So, there are never enough seats. And even if you have enough seats, sometimes people just want to keep the guest list to a certain number. And it's so expensive. Oh my God, it's so expensive. So they're all very real discussions. Would love to know how you guys have managed this. I've only watched my siblings and my friends go through this. I have not planned a wedding. And if mom is paying you, give a little and be respectful. Yes, absolutely. You go to the most beautiful weddings. Thank you, Stumpy. I have friends with really beautiful taste, and quite a bit of money. So, but I will tell you, there are a lot of ways to do a nice wedding. I'm not going to be able to spend that on a wedding. Must say we had little drama, all very accommodating and respectful to what's important to each. Donna, that tells me a lot about you as a mother. That's beautiful. Julie, no one in my family's getting married. My niece is getting married, but that's not what we're talking about. There were just people on the show who were saying that they can't come to the retreat because they have children getting married. When Bruce and I got married, his parents paid for most of the wedding. My dad contributed what was in his budget, and Suzanne wanted to have a big tent outside of their house at the beach, and we were very much in love with that idea. And so she and Alan were very generous, and they paid for the majority of the wedding. And listen, when they gave me their list and said, we want to include, I just said, okay. Did I grouse about it in private? You bet. You bet I did. I did. There was a list of an entire table of some of Alan's cousins that he hadn't seen in a long time. He said, none of these people will come, but I would like to invite them. And they all ended up coming because, Suzanne was a celebrity. She threw great parties. So no one said no to our wedding. And you know what? I loved meeting those cousins. They're very nice people. We had a great time. So, okay. So someone just said, how do you feel about aunts and uncles not being invited? I'd never heard of it until recently. I've heard from bride and groom generation, we want to invite the relatives that we're close to, not just who is in our family. And if you just include the family, many of us have big families. Sometimes that's the majority of the list, and we all love those family parties, and there's no doubt about it. But, you're really close friends from work, or you're really close friends from your college years, or those really close friends from high school. It gets hard to make those decisions. I think if you're going to not invite your aunts and uncles, in my opinion, I would have a family party and then I would have this other type of party. Usually it is a budget issue, because if you have the budget, if you wanted to, you could find a place that could accommodate all. But when you don't have the budget, or you're really stuck on a certain place, I don't know, man. That's pretty hard not to invite aunts and uncles. One of my daughters is getting married in Tuscany. So far, so good. Oh, I'm curious where you're doing it, because so far 70 guests. Okay, Linda, that's a perfect number for Tuscany. We looked at so many incredible venues for under 100 that were great, but not for more than that. I'm curious which one you decided on, because we looked at so many. Trudy said the same thing. I'm throwing a nice party for my friends and extended family. If you know your value, your choices are easy if you value your friends. That's the thing. This is what's so hard about throwing weddings. Your choices are on display for everyone to see. And there's no way around that. Who got invited to this and who didn't get invited to that, and who was invited to this and who wasn't. And then with the table arranging, who gets seated here and your choices are on display for everyone to see. And it's hard. I think it's really hard. So I do not have a wedding for either of my children in the near future. So I'm just watching and learning from my fabulous friends. Curious question. There's going to be thousands of people that want to go to Tuscany. How do you choose what people? Suzanne, we talked about this a little earlier in the show. We're just going to have to pick. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick a group of 50 people out of the hundreds who expressed interest. We will pick a group of 50 people. We're going to have an informational Zoom meeting with 50. We picked 50 because that's as many as you can have on Zoom. And then we will tell those people more about the trip, answer any questions they have, and then 22 of those people will be offered spots for these first 2 weeks. And it's going to be like, okay, this one and this one. Well, these two could be here, and this one. There's no fair way to do this. It's just, we just have to pick. And I don't know most of you, so it's not like I'm not picking you for this reason or that reason. I'm just going to have to pick. And then I'm headed to Italy in a month, and we're going to look at villas. I looked at wedding venues a couple years ago, which was such a fun thing to do. So this time around, we'll go to look at villas where we can rent the place for a month or two and then line up some retreats. So that's how we're handling it. Yes, I saw Heidi saying the choices are not always the same. That's true. The parents' choices and the kids' choices are not the same. And listen, it creates friction. I wasn't invited to my nephew's wedding, which for me was devastating. I was close to him, and I thought, Ben, I would understand if it was a money issue, but her family is wealthy. Oh, that's hard. I'm sorry. So you felt like it was the bride's choice not to include you? Do you know her? Ooh, I almost lost you there on Facebook. That's really hard. Yeah, some people also just don't want a huge wedding. But you know what? In my family, we're blessed with a big family. Used to be, you'd say, oh, well, we're going to do a destination wedding, and that way, not as many people will come. Guess what? They're mostly coming. They're showing up. You know what? That's all a blessing. I've done 2 weddings, and I cut people a lot of slack. It's a lot. That's the thing. Once you've hosted a wedding yourself, you understand why you aren't invited to certain weddings, or why you're not invited with a guest. Guys, the guest thing is rough. There are a lot of people, just make the, no ring, no invitation. Other people, it's like, well, if you're living together, then you should be included. And other people just do it based on if they know the partner. Because I understand from a guest point of view, it's not as fun to go to a wedding without a partner. I understand from the host point of view, that person that you're bringing as an extra means that someone really important to me is not able to show up. So what's the right answer? There's no right answer. That's just the dichotomy. Most things in life have the duality. So, you know, you got to make a choice. All you can do is make a choice. And I do think being honest with people is better than just ignoring it. I'm sure it would have been helpful if you'd received a call from your nephew saying, you know, I love you so much. And there's no way to say, sorry, I'm not inviting you. I don't know. It's rough. It's a rough one. What do you guys think about the nephew not inviting Auntie? I haven't seen you in forever. Why don't you do Suzanne's products anymore? Oh, Niles, you need the update. I left the company in January, and I have started my own venture, so you can see me here all the time. I'm here on Tuesdays at 11 and Thursdays at 5. I do a cooking show. So happy to have you here, and I'm glad you found me again. I'm still doing all the same things, health and wellness and cooking and traveling and all the things that I enjoy. And the SuzanneSommers.com business is still owned and operated by Alan, and he has his kids running it. And I wish them all the best. Just the chapter just ended for me. No excuse for an aunt or close family member not being included in a family wedding. I get it. I get it. I understand that opinion. I have a niece who's getting married, and between her aunts and uncles on mom's side, which is my side, and her aunts and uncles on dad's side, there are 6 on mom's side, there are 5 on dad's side. They all have spouses, and they all have children. And it's like, I don't know, 75 people? Give the nephew a call. Tell him you're disappointed you weren't invited, but hope to have a conversation and see pictures or video of what took place. What's your opinion on dress code? My grandson's was very specific. Black tux or suit for men. Women, black, short or long dress. But there were some who chose to not attend and give money that the fancy clothes would cost. I think a note of semi-formal dress would have been better. Here's what I will tell you. Black tie events, first of all, a black tie event would never allow a short dress, so they made their own kind of accommodation for that, which is fine. I don't care about that. Black tie is more formal. It means gowns to the floor for women, and it means a, not a casual fabric. And for men, it means a tuxedo. So, if you don't care about what the rules are that black tie should be after 6 p.m. So if you're having a wedding before 6, it technically shouldn't be black. But, I don't know if anyone's reading the Emily Post guidelines anymore for etiquette. So I think for some people, if they're truly having a wedding at a venue that makes sense that it would be black tie, or some people will say black tie optional so that you could wear a suit instead of a tux, or you might have a little bit more leeway in what you wear as a woman. Usually just means you're going to wear a floor length gown and a little dressier. I think it's the bride and groom's choice. You're allowed to create the vibe that you want for a wedding. And as a guest, you're allowed to decide if you want to attend or not. You don't have to go. You don't have to. It's okay if you don't. A lot of people have opinions about how everyone else throws their wedding. You get to decide on your wedding, and you get to help probably with your kids' weddings. And otherwise, you choose to go or you choose to stay home. And if, you know, my dad always used to say, if you come, you do me a favor. If you don't come, you do me a bigger favor. So people choose to stay home, it's okay. I don't have a problem with black tie attire. Some people like, you know, a formal, fancy vibe. And I don't know, it's fun to get dressed up every now and then. What is your opinion? Okay, so that was the dress code. I got that one. Family can be hurtful. That's true. That's true. Sometimes people will do things that will hurt our feelings, and I don't know, it's a hard one to get over. I'm trying to request to go on your trip. Sheila Wolf, go to carolinesummers.com and click on the Tuscany retreat, and there's a form in there. And if you type out what we need, the information on the form, you'll be registered as a party of interest. And then I'm sending out an email today. There's a lot of interest for just a few spots, but get yourself in there, because if we can't make it happen for this retreat, we'll make it happen for the next one. You know what else is interesting with weddings? Less and less people registering the way that we did. We, going to the store, you pick out your everyday dishes, and then your formal dishes, and your everyday glassware, and your cookware, and all of your things. You know, a lot of people now, a lot of people are already together when they're getting married, so they don't need all those things to set up their kitchen. So a lot of people are saying that money is a nice gift, or they'll set up a honeymoon fund, which is a money fund. But the registry, not as typical. You see a lot of people do it, or, you can get such great things now for a lot less money. And my girlfriend was going to register with her kids, and she was like, everything on here is $25. Like, you're gonna have to find some things that, but listen, my cousin ruined my fairy tale wedding. My dad gave me a week to get married. It was 23 people, husband's closest friend, 17 years ago. We went to church and had dinner at my dad's restaurant after. Oh, but why was it ruined? And now we need the story. My kitchenology. Oh, sorry. Can you hear the construction? It's, we live in this canyon, so that construction is all the way down there. And it wasn't happening when I started the show. So I was going to, usually I close the doors if I hear construction, but anyway, okay, so I want to know the tea, kitchenology. What happened? How did that get ruined? Yes, if you filled out the form on the website, you'll receive an email. Oh, hi, Leanne. My friend Leanne is on. Heidi said, love the furniture fund. So creative now. You can get art or a dog. If that's what people want, I say I'm all for it. Listen, I don't care. It doesn't have to be like the perfect vase that you're going to remember forever that Bruce and Caroline got you. I don't care. You do with it what you want. My sisters had a double wedding. Oh my gosh. Okay. Those sisters really love each other. That's not easy, but you know what? It makes so much sense, all the overlap with the family. I'm glad that was fun. That's amazing. Trudy said, how was your homemade lasagna the other night? It looked delicious. Well, let me tell you, I really thought we were going to have a major fail during the show, but it pulled together. I put my head down and I was like, you can do this. Trust your team, trust your craft. And we did finish it. Here's what I'm going to say. When you're doing a lasagna like that, when the lasagna sheets are super thin, when you're making them homemade, it doesn't matter if they tear or are a little irregular because they all get layered into that lasagna. It was so good. Unbelievably good. We loved it. We were up here on the roof. We had dinner outside. We had beautiful wine that our friend Nelson brought. One of my followers said, I can't believe you didn't pick an Italian wine to go with that. I was like, it was a Joseph Phelps Insignia, and it was insanely good. He picked a really special bottle out of his wine cellar and that's why I knew he wanted to bring, I know the kind of wine Nelson likes, so that's why I decided I had to make a really hearty dish that would go well with a wine like that. You made the vongole recipe, awesome. Oh, Francesca, your uncle at Villa Bosco has been doing weddings for years in his villa. What city is that in, Francesca? Francesca, she knows all things Italian. I love it. Donna, I'm glad you enjoyed that show. It was a little stressful for me, I have to say. But you know what? My dad would always say, if you have a job to do, put your whole mind to it and keep it there until it is done. And I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. So when things were kind of going off left and right, I'm like, you got this, pull it together, make a plan. We figured it out. Oh, it's in Sicily. Okay, amazing. Insignia is a fantastic wine. Yes, it is. Okay, she told my dad I was pregnant, which was not true. And coming from Armenian Middle Eastern culture, that was a no-no. So I had to get married or leave him. 17 years later, my dad and husband are BFFs. The tea! Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay, so your cousin said she's pregnant, so you didn't get to have the big fancy wedding. You got married in 1 week with 23 people at your uncle's restaurant. Still together 17 years later. What happened with the cousin? Isn't this good? I'm gonna have to bring you on and have you tell this story. Wow, that's amazing. I'm gonna look up Villa Bosco because I've heard of it, Francesca. I didn't know you were that Francesca Bosco. We don't talk. Guess who's not going to be invited to your kid's wedding? That cousin. Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Rita. She likes my dress. Thank you. I bet. That cousin was jealous of you, Teresa said. I believe so. Okay, you guys, so little recap. If you came in late, we had an update on Membrin. You can find this at carolinesummers.com. It's right on my homepage. You click through, and when you get to the Membrin site where this is sold, you get a free month when you sign up for the 3-month subscription. The first month is free when you use promo code Caroline. And you also are going to get the free cream that comes with it. So 2 free gifts, a whole month and your 3 months. Oh, hi, Bunny. And don't forget to take this every day. 2 every single day. 2 every single day. The clinical study that was done on this was a 3-month study. So you want to take it every day. And oh my gosh. What a relief. What a relief. So don't forget to look at that. Who in the Sommers family is going on the cruise? Oh, well, we don't have a cruise. It's a retreat. And it's going to be Caroline, Bruce, and Violet. Blue Flower says, Membrin is fabulous, isn't it? Isn't it amazing? Love your nails. What color are you wearing? It's just like a nude. At the salon, they call it NO3, but it's very nude-ish. You know, the thing is, when you're talking about like, you know, vaginal shit, it's not the most fun thing to talk about. And I'm not someone who likes to talk about my sex life. It's not super comfortable for me. I'm just a little more private about that. But let me tell you, oh my God, has it made a difference. It's like you're in your 20s again. Unbelievable. So you may not think you need this. I didn't think I needed this. I didn't know how much better I could feel. That's Membrin. Okay, you guys, you're awesome. Bunny and I are going to continue. Look at this queen. Look at that queen. The link is carolinesummers.com. The link is right on there. Tammy said, I feel, oh, thank you. So yeah, this is Bunny. Heidi said I'm on my 3rd month of Membrin, and it also helped her hip pain. Remember how we talked about? I was having that hip. I never know what it is that I say that makes people, you know, Vinny tried it because of dry eye. Heidi, it was that hip pain. When I started getting really bad hip pain, I don't feel it anymore. Guess what else dries up? Your joint. I love this stuff. I love it. So I hope you'll try it. You guys, please be patient with me on the retreat stuff. We are working like little busy bees over here. You're going to get an email, and you'll follow the prompts in the email. And I'm excited to do this with a small number of you. I'm more excited to really get this business started and do it with even more of you. So thanks for joining me today. We appreciate you and we love you. And I will see you back on Thursday at 5. I'm going to be cooking. Bye, guys.